Being on tour and being respectful of others. Yeah. So part of being on tour is bonding with the people around you. Yeah. And being respectful of the people around you and people in the company on the tour with you. Some of these things are going to seem like so simple to you, but I've encountered people on tour that don't do some of these things and then are surprised when people want to vote them off the island. One thing is to be really respectful of others. Yeah. It's important to shower when you're on tour. Yeah. So you don't want to decide, oh yeah, I'm fine. I don't sweat much. And so I can go this week or two without a shower. Um, that is one of the things that have pissed people off that I've encountered is when we've had students or I've been on tour with other dancers where they don't deal with their personal hygiene. Your hygiene is more about others than just your personal self. So you might be able to live with yourself, but can everybody else live with you too? Wear deodorant. That's important. Sometimes people don't wear deodorant in ordinary life, but when you're touring and you're traveling, it's like, you know what? I need the more stronger deodorant now. So those are things to know about that too. It's also, you'll be living with other people in a flat, keep spaces clean. Yeah. Different people have different rules for, like, some people it bothers them when you leave all your dirty dishes and you say, oh, I'll get to those later, but then they might want that dish or that pot or that pan. So that can really upset people. So I always say give yourself enough time so that you can clean up your mess afterwards. And that it's sometimes good to also clean up for other people that you see, but that can be problematic if other people just get used to you always being the one taking care of the mess. Yeah, so none of that is good. Always respect other people's space, respect other people's process, respect other people's things. Things are important, and people get pissed sometimes when you use other people's things without asking. Yeah, so even if the person is really nice, even if the person has allowed you to use it in the past, it's good to check in with them just to make sure you are not frustrating them with constantly asking them to use their charger or their device. Yeah. Also, people's food. So people can get upset when you're the one that's always eating other people's food, and another thing that I find is sometimes there are people in the group that are very generous, that they're constantly giving you things, and or buying you a cup of coffee or something. That it's often good if someone's been nice to you to do something in return nice for them. Yeah, it's just kind of a common courtesy and it builds a kind of shared understanding of one another. Yeah. We've had some issues in the past with British toilets. Toilets are interesting because they can be different in different parts of the world. I travel with students to Asia. Toilets can be very different in Asia. You're not going to really encounter a toilet too different, but some of the very older British toilets, they have a little bit of a pump feature so that you can pull the handle down when you flush the toilet and it actually pumps more. So sometimes if you put things that are solid in the toilet when you're using the toilet, you need to pump them. We've had some instances in the past where people have been upset with one another because this person never flushes the toilet. Yeah. So it's always just good to know and good to be courteous with one another about those things and also be tolerant. One of the nice things is everyone has their own bathroom. Hopefully that's the case. And so we won't encounter some of those things. In the UK, I've been using the word toilet because that's the word they use. Yeah, we sometimes will call it a restroom. Sometimes people will look at you funny in the UK or in Europe when you ask for the restroom. So you kind of realize the little bit of a puritanical nature that the U.S. has, founded by Puritans, that we sometimes will not talk about the toilet, So toilet, sometimes the water closet, the WC is another term for the toilet. And then sometimes if you go to the French term, the loo.